Welcome everybody out there in the Ethernet to episode Ethernet, the Ether Internet.
Etherweb.
This is Etherweb. This is episode 57 of Sis and Big Pops Culture. I am Big Pops, Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art, and as always, co-hosted by...
Hi, sweet friends. I'm Hannah Jo, aka Sis, and together we're an adult daughter-father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
That's right, folks. We keep it on the PGG area, probably closer to the PG.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, PG.
Maybe. But if anything is coming up that would be a little worrisome, we'll let you know. But we don't do that. Hannah, give us a lowdown. Tell us everybody what we do here.
Friends. Okay, today, as always, we're what?
New people, like listening from new
Yes.
places.
New, interesting places in the world. Friends, we're glad that you decided.
And good friends that have been here forever. Sorry. Keep going. My bad.
Daddy. We are going to chat, as always, about nerd news. Dad's going to share with us his pull list. We'll explain to you what that is when we get there. We're going to talk about what we've been watching or binging, if we have been doing that. And we're also going to review 3 films today. One pretty spoiler heavy. The main thing we're going to review today is Everything Everywhere All at Once. And then Pops has watched the new Thor movie, and I have watched the new Minions movie. We're not going to rotten raspberry each other today, but we are going to chat in a spoiler-free way. All of the yummy raspberries. There shall be no rotten ones.
No rotten ones. That's
today.
Exactly right.
You bought the perfect box, and it lasted you 4 days.
I've gotten. It was a blackberry. It wasn't raspberries. And I got home, and there was mold on one. I had to take it back. I did.
Give me my money back.
I did.
I do. I do this thing where if I'm acting like a crotchety lady, I'm like, no, she's here. And I do this like old lady voice. And I always do it in front of Trevin because I'm always being crotchety, typically when I'm in front of him because he's the person I spend a lot of my time with. And it is very funny. I do a very good old lady voice. I need you to know that.
All right. All right. Well, Hannah. I sound like a prospector from like the...
You do. Anyway, sound like you could be in the movie Holes.
Let's go with nerd news.
Nerd news.
Hey, what do you got? Anything, or do you want me to go? All of my basically nerd news, other than the sad news that James Caan passed away.
Who's that?
Okay, James Caan. I know him. He was in Godfather. You would know him as the dad.
Gabagool.
In Elf. The dad in Elf.
Aww.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is sad.
So, that is sad. Yeah, I loved him in Elf. And actually, I just watched Get Smart.
Is he in Get Smart?
Get Smart. He is the president of the United States in Get Smart.
Oh, man.
I didn't even realize that. But yeah, he passed away. So that's bummer news. The rest of my news is basically about TV shows and movies.
I have a movie that I don't know if we've talked about it or not. I don't think we have. It's a new movie coming up with Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg, and Dave Franco.
No, we didn't talk about it. But I watched the trailer today.
Called Day Shift. I watched the trailer today too.
That
looks funny.
It looks so good. Now it's rated R.
And it's going to be on Netflix.
Yes, on Netflix.
So if you have Netflix, you can watch it. It is about this guy who hunts and
L.A.
hunts down vampires for money.
Mm-hmm. For money. He's
kind of like a guild, if you will. He's a part of the vampire hunting
union.
Guild.
The union is what they called it in the
it felt more like a guild.
And the issue is basically I need money or my ex-wife or something's going to move my daughter away or my wife.
$10,000. I couldn't tell. She's mad at him. That's for darn sure.
Is that
Snoop Dogg?
Is that James Franco's brother?
It's Dave Franco. Yeah, it's the guy that was in Now You See Me.
Oh, he was hilarious.
He's very funny.
One part in the trailer.
Him.
Well, one part, I've seen them. I didn't realize that he was James Franco's brother.
Yeah.
But in one of the scenes from the trailer, Jamie said Shift because it's Day Shift. Jamie Foxx is saying, this is worse than, and he names like all the Twilight movies. And It ain't
I
like
must
that.
have watched a different trailer than you.
Oh, he said vampires aren't like that. And Dave Franco goes, why do you know every Twilight movie ever made? And what's your issue with part 2 of? That's when we get the conclusion, and the whole entire thing talking about the Twilight movies.
I'm just saying the Twilight movies are very good, and the extended cuts are on Amazon Prime to be watched if you would like to watch them.
Oh my god, you're hilarious.
You're welcome.
So yeah, that looked funny. Do you have any other movies? Anything else?
I had that Captain America 4 is being directed by the guy that directed the Cloverfield Paradox.
Did you see the Cloverfield Paradox?
I've heard it was no.
That was the one.
I've heard it was very bad.
I actually enjoyed it. I liked the Cloverfield Paradox. I really did. I mean, it's
the Cloverfield
sci-fi.
series just makes zero sense to me. It seems like it's all over the place in genre.
It is all over the place. Yeah, it is. The Cloverfield Paradox actually takes place before the first movie Cloverfield. So
Paradox.
Yeah, that's the paradox, right?
That's it. That's all. That's a lie. I have one more piece of news, but you're for sure not going to have it. So you can go ahead and share your piece of news.
So mine is so the Day Shift movie comes out on Netflix on August the 12th.
Okay.
So
that's
these
soon.
are all,
that's in a month.
Yeah, I've got 3 more movies that come out in August.
Okay.
There is a Korean action film called Carter that comes out.
Carter with a K or with a C?
With a C on August 5th on Netflix, and it looks awesome. I mean, if the movie is anything like the trailer, it's very stereotypical. I mean, it's very not stereotypical, but it's very like, oh yeah, I get it. I've got a bomb placed in your skull and it'll kill everyone within a 10-meter radius if you don't do exactly what I want you to do, type deal. So, and then he's like,
classic.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know where it'll go from there, but the trailer was chock full of action, and I loved it.
Oh, we love that.
I will watch that.
Okay.
And on August 5th as well, on Apple Plus, they are releasing a movie called Luck. It's an animated film. And
have I seen the trailer for that?
A young lady named Sam is the most unlucky person in the world, and she finds a lucky penny. And after she finds this lucky penny, like everything she does just works out perfect. And she's being like stalked by this black cat. So she accidentally drops the lucky penny in the toilet, and it gets flushed down. And the cat goes, "You lost my penny." And that's played by Simon Pegg. You know, the guy from Shaun of the Dead is the cat voice. And he ends up going back to the land of luck, and she follows him. And she gets there, and humans aren't supposed to be there, but it's run by like leprechauns and everything and all these magical creatures. But you come to find out that half of the planet is all luck and the other half of the planet is all bad luck. I'm intrigued because I want to see what happens.
Looking, and there's some good people in this. Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
John Ratzenberger.
Mm-hmm. Cliffy.
Simon Pegg is Bob the cat.
Bob the cat. It looks so
Whoopi
fun.
Goldberg is in this.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Whoopi Goldberg is the captain, whatever that means.
Oh, must be I don't know.
Me either. It just, I'm on the IMDb and it says Whoopi Goldberg, the captain.
But August 5th, I'll be watching it. I'm assuming it's going to be
fun.
P or PG. So,
Jane Fonda is the dragon. Whoopi Goldberg is the captain.
Gotcha.
Flula Borg, the guy who did
he's in it.
the poops, the party poopser.
Who is
guy?
he? No, who is he in that?
I'm sorry. He plays Jeff the Unicorn.
Oh yeah, Jeff the Unicorn's hilarious. Oh, I'm glad. Flula was also the spear guy the guy in Suicide Squad that dies in the first scene. Remember?
Yes.
So that's another movie that's coming out.
That's so fun.
I know.
We love a kids movie in this house.
So another movie coming out on Amazon Prime in August, on August 26th, is called The Samaritan. So there is a kid, he's 13, 15 years old, and next door to him lives an old guy that he thinks is the superhero, the Samaritan, who was supposedly killed 20 years ago. in a fight with his arch rival called the Nemesis. And the actor who plays the Samaritan is Sylvester Stallone.
I saw that he was going to be in a new movie, but I
So
didn't
it comes
click
out
on
August 26th, and there's no trailer. I'm dying to see what that's about. But yeah, I'll watch that too.
Samaritan. Look at his face. Sylvester Stallone.
I know it.
He's mean mugging in all these
He
photos.
is mean mugging, always.
Always
Did you
mean mugging.
Do you see where Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, Daredevil, and the Kingpin are going to be back for the Echo show?
Man, I hope it's good.
I do too. I like the character Echo, and I enjoyed the Hawkeye show. Granted, we had this whole entire conversation.
I'm saying, Dad.
I know.
They weenified Kingpin.
They did. They did weenie-fy Kingpin. You're right.
They weenified him. He's a bad mamma jamma.
I agree with you.
I'm just saying.
Oh, well. Anywho, they are going to be in it.
My one more piece of news.
What is it?
This American anime that I watch on Netflix called The Dragon Prince, which is for children.
Oh, yeah.
Is a Monopoly game.
I saw that. See, I did know that.
You did know it, Dad.
I was like, why do I know this?
Because
I've
seen it.
Somebody, yes, hilarious.
It's really cool because there's a female character in that who is like really high up in an army, and she speaks sign language. Her character speaks no words the entire thing, and she's like high up in the military, and so she has to work hard, and people have to understand her. Well, she's high up in the military, and she doesn't speak any words. She uses she does speak words. She just uses her hands and not her mouth.
Gotcha. Right. Different types of communication.
And it's really cool.
The I almost started reading Laura Olympus.
Laura Olympus? You should read Laura Olympus.
But instead, Zatanna has a new comic book on Webtoons.
What is it?
It's called Zatanna something.
I don't know what that is.
Zatanna is a character in DC Comics. She is a master magician. Her dad was like the world's best magician. And Zatanna is like, she's fantastic, actually. And they're supposed to be making a show or a movie. The cool thing is that her magic works by her saying things backwards. So, yeah.
Laura Olympus, man, is in.
It's because like 80 bazillion people have read it. And I was like,
I told you that I've been reading that, and it's really good.
I know. But see, I got a new iPad, and I've been looking at things to read on it.
I'm just saying.
I went to Webtoons.
There's a lot of. If you're looking for a webtoon to read, any person out there in the world, Laura Olympus is very good. It talks about some adult themes. It talks about some adult themes.
The Bat Family has one on there that's
the Bat Family, and we reviewed that.
Really good,
and it's also very good. So they have.
I like Zatanna. It's more middle school.
If you are grown up and you listen to our podcast with your kiddo, I would encourage you both to sit down and look at Webtoons and figure out which ones are most appropriate.
Let the parent look at them first.
Yes. Like,
yeah, because there's a bazillion on there.
Because there's so many, and there's something on there for someone to enjoy.
There is. I had one more piece of news.
Okay.
And this is that I don't know if we reviewed it, but I talked really big about it. The comic book Eve by Boom Studios. About the young girl.
We talked about how that was, yeah.
It was
so good. Is it going to be a movie or TV show?
No, I don't know, but they're making another 5-issue comic series.
They're continuing it.
Called Eve, Children of the Moon. So I can't wait to read it. It comes out in October. So maybe we should get the Eve trade and review that for our podcast.
Yeah, I'd love to. That sounds like fun.
That's all I got, other than Taika Waititi Star Wars movie is not going to start production until 2023.
Yeah, he asked Natalie Portman if she'd ever been in Star Wars. Like, are you kidding?
He has no clue.
Natalie
he even said that.
Natalie Portman?
He goes, I don't have time to research any of that. Are you kidding me?
And
anyway,
there was a lot of news about him that was like in all of the sites, just like saying stuff. And I was just like, I don't have the energy to go through all of the stuff
I'm not going to do it. No.
That he said. He apparently got really mad that Stranger Things, really mad, this is an over exaggeration, that Stranger Things used one of the songs that he wanted to use for Thor, or like one of the.
Thor was all, it was huge Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, it was like
That was the big
yeah.
thing. Well, I mean, first come, first serve, yo. Being your own song, BYOS. What else you got? Anything else?
I wanted to talk about what we had watched before we go into.
Yeah, absolutely.
What have you watched, Dad?
I binge watched a show because the lady at the pool supply place here in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. I wish I could remember the name of the pool supply place, but I don't. But it's the Phipps. They're great people, so use them. Shout out. It's hilarious. One of the girls that works for me today says, "Do you ever do shout outs on your podcast?" And I said, "Yeah, what do you know that's newsworthy or geek worthy or nerd adjacent that I need to know to give you a proper shout out?" And she goes, "Well, I don't know anything." I said, "Well, then you're just going to get an ambiguous shout out."
Ambiguous shout out. Sup?
Woo! Anyway, so she was watching a. Hey, Luke. Hello.
Hi, Luke.
Luke is with Love Thy Nerd. So if you guys aren't with Love Thy Nerd, you should go check the Love Thy Nerd page out on Facebook. So she was watching a show in the background while she was ringing me up.
You told me about this.
Yeah, couldn't figure out how to turn the volume off while she was running the test on the pool water. And I was hearing like, "There's no more water on planet Earth." And I was like, "What are you watching?" And she goes, "It's Silent Sea." This is the name of the word. CSEE or SEA. SEA, yeah. Silent Sea. It is a Korean science fiction series that only is 8 episodes. So it does say it's mature. I think it's because it can get pretty violent and they do say some words. There is no nudity. But what has happened in this world is that there is no more, like, water is nothing. Like you can't not even allowed to have pets because you can't give water to pets. If somebody has a pet, their water ration card is like platinum. Like, cause you get a water ration card.
Cause you bougie.
Yeah. Like platinum, gold, silver, bronze, all the way down to, I don't know, 10, I guess. I don't know. But like, you're only allowed so much water. There's no such thing as swimming pools.
So it's like Dune.
Very much so. Very similar to that. Although nobody's wearing a still suit.
I'm just saying.
That.
Recycle your own water, friends.
I know. Reuse your own water. So, but what has happened is there is something on the moon, like in the Sea of Tranquility or whatever.
Silent Sea.
And they have to go retrieve these samples. So they
Do we have a moon ship?
No. Well, they take a spaceship. To the moon.
My
this
brain
is in the future,
just went.
And there is the government is going there. The Korean government is going there to retrieve where they did you come to find out they did these experiments. They have this lunar water.
Sick.
That is not good.
Oh.
But has potential to be good. And then there are like corporations that want this. So.
Do you know that makes me think of?
What?
The Lorax commercial, the Lorax movie.
Oh yeah,
where the guy it's like air.
Oh yeah. So I was surprised at how well I enjoyed it.
Okay, it was really good.
It was really good. It comes with an ending, but there could still be
an opening, perhaps.
There could be another season, but it does conclude. I was struggling watching it while I was working on my mosaic.
Well, because you were working on a mosaic.
So I turned it to closed captioned and English.
Oh, Dad.
I had to because I couldn't pay attention. I couldn't understand. I couldn't pay attention.
We are
so anyway, Silent Sea.
We are a subbed family.
And, I know. And yesterday I started watching Station 11 again.
Ayo, you love that.
Station 11. If you are a comic book fan, you should watch Station 11. Now, it is on HBO Max, and it is for mature. There is violence, but I love Station 11. It is a show that made me a little anxious and had to turn it off, but it does it has an ending that I felt comfortable with, that I liked. So, and I usually get nervous, What about you, Hannah? What have you been watching?
Steven says hi.
Hey, Steven.
So Stranger Things.
I know. You said you started back at season 3
We started originally in season 1, are now almost done with season 3. We have 1 episode left, but I didn't have time. It was an hour and 18 minutes, and we just didn't have time to.
Gotcha.
I didn't want to start it and pause it in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember originally when I watched this hating season 3. Like I was like, season 3 is so dumb. Like I can't even watch it. Like I really did not like it. But watching it back the second time, I'm really enjoying season 3. I don't think it's as bad as I remember it being. There is a tone shift, but part of it is they're growing. So of course there's going to be a tone shift.
Exactly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
that makes sense.
Either and again, I was trying to like work through like did I maybe hate this season? I wonder if the last episode is just really bad. I don't remember.
I just couldn't get into season 3, but I'm going to try again.
Yeah.
Do you know what my issue was with season 2?
No.
It was Newbie.
Oh, Bob Newby, superhero.
I love Bob Newby.
Bob Newby.
And I read that comic book, The Secrets of You Win, which was a Stranger Things comic book.
Sean Astin,
which,
man.
by the way, they are knocking the Stranger Things comic books out of the park.
Are they really good?
They're great.
So I'm stoked to almost be done with season 3 because that means we get to start season 4.
Good deal.
And
awesome.
I'm stoked about it. I watched Sing 2.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Have you seen it? No. It was very good.
Well, good.
It was very good. Steven says he's never watched Stranger Things because of the crappy internet. Maybe someday seems awesome. It is awesome, Steven. It's worth it. I think it's worth the hype.
I do too. I loved the first 2 seasons.
The first season, at least watch the first season. It is very, very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I watched Sing 2 and it was really good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I was surprised about how much I enjoyed this movie. You
loved the first one.
I did enjoy I
love the first one. I thought it was good.
The first one, the Once There Was a Way, to Get Back Homeward is something I just sing that to myself ever since watching that.
Who is that? Is that Jennifer Hudson?
Yeah, but I think it's originally the Beatles.
I don't know.
But it was 4th of July, and so I watched Independence Day. Because on the 4th of July, you watch Independence.
I watched it too. And Luke, yes, we're going to talk about Thor a little bit later. We're going to give some spoiler-free review of Thor.
And Sally, yes, Sing too. It was really cute.
And I watched Independence Day 2 and Independence Day 2.
You watched Independence Day 1 and Independence Day 2?
Both.
Independence Day 2 is not bad.
It's the role. It's an Emmerich disaster film. I mean, you get what do you expect? You know.
I'm just saying. And then Dada rolls out, and I'm like, Dada.
Oh,
I know that's not his name.
His husband dies.
Oh, so sad.
That is so sad.
Sad.
You got fat. He says.
It's so cute.
Great movies. We do Independence Day on Independence Day. You guys. You should watch it.
This is me quoting the entire thing that he does, and Trevin's like, "Are you okay?
Please stop it." Yeah, have you seen this before?
like, yeah, every 4th of July.
Every 4th of July, no kidding. Oh well,
but yeah,
awesome. Well, that's what's been on our TV watching.
Yeah. Oh, Westworld. I started rewatching Westworld season 2.
All right.
Because season 4 just came out, and I was like, maybe I like this again. I don't know.
What we should do? We should watch the OG movie.
We've talked about that.
Review it. Yeah, with Jorbrina.
The Man in Black is in season 1.
I don't know what that is.
The man with the black hat. I can't remember what he's called.
Oh, yeah, the cowboy. That's Yul Brynner's character.
Yeah, he's in season 1.
I tell you what's funny. You can go in and there is a video of that's jokes with City Slickers that has Billy Crystal.
Yes.
And they're supposed to be characters from Westworld. It's hilarious. Yeah. All right. Well, Hannah.
Do we want to review a movie, or do we want to talk? Do you want to review a movie?
Let's talk Thor.
Talk
and then
Thor.
We'll do
okay.
comic books,
And then
we'll do
Minions. And then we'll do our spoiler heavy Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, yeah. We don't. So, yeah, let me give a brief thing about Thor.
I haven't seen it. I don't know if I will.
I enjoyed Thor. Okay.
Okay.
So, Christian Bale is amazing. His villain is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think he's been in anything popular in a long, long time. Well, wait, yeah, maybe he was, except for Newsies back when he was a child. Oh, and Batman. Oh, and American Psycho.
Dad?
And yeah. Anyway, yeah, he was in all those. But Luke, he was. I thought, and I had read some things where this villain was tracking as one of the best villains, and it was a complete tonal shift when Christian Bale is on the screen and when Korg it narrates part of the movie.
Korg is the narrator?
Well, and it's bits and pieces. So, yeah, Taika Waititi basically tells his own story. My problem with this movie is the same problem I had with Ragnarok. Okay? It's just silly. There's so much silly in it. But they do capture... I don't know. It's so hard to put it in there because there is peril, but it's really not going to be peril. I mean, the whole entire way they do Lady Thor, or they just call her Thor. Of course, we know that it's in the trailer.
Yeah, it's not hard to know.
It's very much like in the comic book.
Okay. I liked the comic book,
but in the comic book you read, it doesn't really show her as being Jane Foster, just as being Thor.
And she's fake Thor. Like she's talking in a specific Asgardian way.
Well, right. But I mean, she does not do that in this movie.
Okay.
But she does wield Mjolnir. And very much like how Mjolnir does different things for her in the comic book.
Same in this.
Sorta. I mean, Mjolnir is still in pieces at times and comes back together, which is really cool.
That's really
that might
cool.
be a spoiler.
But you could see in the things that it's in piece, it's shattered. So either it's been super glued together, which you can't super glue Meow Meow back together. I don't think that was a spoiler at all.
So, so basically we do get another character, like in the Guardians of the Galaxy we get Ego, the Living Planet, which is a big, something I never thought we'd see. Well, we get another character from the Marvel Universe introduced into this.
Okay.
Which is really takes mostly center stage in a Doctor Strange comic, but in this, never mentioned in the movies that we see of Doctor Strange. But
maybe that's something, because I was trying to remember, because we were talking on the phone after you saw it and just chit-chatting about whether or not you enjoyed it. And Mom was like, you need to stop talking about it because you're going to forget to talk about it on the podcast. And she's true. That was a wise statement. I think something I remember you saying is that the coolest part was an end credits scene.
Yes, for me.
The coolest part of the movie for you was not even in the movie.
I want to yell it so bad.
Sick. Okay, how about you tell me after we're done with the podcast? Because I want to know.
How about I just do this? And if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't.
Shoot, Dad, I'm not going to know.
You're going to know it.
Okay, tell me.
He's here. He's there. He's every bleeping where. Anyway.
Yes. We had talked about this. You told me. Yeah, and you were like, can I tell you? And yes. Can we say who it is without saying, can we say the actor's name?
I mean, you can look it up online. I don't want to spoil it, but everybody knows now because it's all over Twitter.
I understand.
Yes. I went, yeah! I screamed. And everybody
I like him or her. Next to me I like that person.
Had never seen the other TV show. So they did not understand anything I was
That TV show is so good.
Which, by the way, they now are saying that the last season, probably the last season, won't come out till Thanksgiving or Christmas time. So, yeah. Anyway, so I enjoyed Thor. It is very silly. It's nothing like the comic, in the fact that the Thor comics are never that silly. You you do get the Guardians of the Galaxy in it, which is fun. You get the screaming goats, which you saw which is fun. Korg is fun. I just say fun a lot because that's what it is.
It didn't feel
somebody was
meaty,
saying, "Oh, this
perhaps.
is great for the whole family." I'm like, there are children in peril in this movie. So if you what you should never do is take a child therapist to see this movie. Oh, wait, I did.
Well, you can't.
Kidding me?
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah, I know. Well, who knew? I didn't know.
Yeah, who knew?
But anyway, yeah, it's interesting. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll see it when it comes to Disney Plus.
Well, that's what I did with Doctor Strange. No, I went and saw Doctor Strange. Yeah. I'm being hard on the Marvel
They're not
movies.
very good, Dad.
Well, they are good. They're just not what I'm used to.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm nostalgic for like the original Iron Man.
I know.
Which they can't make the original Iron Man every single time.
That.
But it feels too much.
It's going, well, I mean, and that's what they're doing. They're going all with the, out in the galaxy because that's what we've got now, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I enjoyed
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, there you go. What do you want to do now, Hannah? You want to talk Minions? Let's do Minions.
Let's do Minions.
Spoiler-free Minions.
I watched Minions. It was really good. The best part was I sat next to a wee tot who talked to me the entire time.
That's awesome.
That was the best part. I leaned over to Trevin and I was like, this child could not have sat next to a more appropriate human being. This tiny tot sat next to me and talked to me and shared with me their stuffed animal and talked to me about their popcorn, and it was very, very good. It made my heart very happy.
Is this a Gru?
It is a Minion movie. It is a both. It is a both movie.
Origin story.
It is small. Well, Gru is already a villain.
But he's small. He's little.
But he's a baby. He's not a baby. He's a child. He's like an elementary school.
7 or 8. Gotcha.
Yeah.
8 or 9. Gotcha.
Late elementary school.
Is his mom in this?
Yes.
Julie Andrews still plays the voice
Andrews
of the mother?
is in it. Yes.
I can't believe it. Doe, a deer, a female deer.
Julie,
that is crazy.
She's mean. She's mean in it.
And the Princess of Genovia.
And they call Gru mini boss the entire time.
The mini boss. That's hilarious.
They call him mini boss the entire time. We get the introduction to Dr. Nefario.
Oh, good. Okay.
Introduction to Dr. Nefario. There's it's the minions messing up because they are minions.
Gotcha.
And they mess up every now and then Gru having to figure out how to fix it, / he can't fix it, / the minions end up fixing it.
Okay, so the first movie was pretty much Gru with the minions.
No, Gru was not in that movie until the very end.
No, the first
Despicable Me movie?
Despicable Me movie. It was Gru with the minions as a side thing. So is this more of a Gru and the minions together?
Yes.
Gotcha. So it's the rise of both of them.
Yes. They take up same amount of screen time.
Understood.
They take up same amount of screen time.
Okay. Awesome. Animation's still good. Animation's
very good. Music is very good.
There's not going to be
giggling
there's not going to be a happy
time.
Pharrell song that comes out of it.
They did do the I'm having a bad day in a different way.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got
because it was like 70s 60s, and so they kind of did.
I want to hear that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to put that on Spotify.
And yeah.
Okay.
It was like a kid version, but kind of 60s-ish.
Gotcha.
And he didn't have a freeze ray. He had a cheese ray. He had a cheese whiz ray.
Like it scorched cheese whiz at people. That's fun.
And so the scene where he's like walking in the coffee shop and goes, freeze ray, freeze ray, freeze ray.
Yes.
He walks into an ice cream store and goes, cheese ray, cheese ray, cheese ray.
That's good.
And then the guy at the ice cream store is like, please don't cheese me. Here's your ice cream.
That's so good.
It was very good.
That's a great callback to the show.
It was a very good callback. I was like, this is perfect.
Oh, that's so fun. That is great.
It was good.
So how do you rate that as compared to the other?
Well, if Minions are annoying to you, don't go see it.
Right. But if you enjoyed Despicable Me,
it is more like the original Minions movie than like Despicable Me.
gotcha. I don't know that I ever saw the original Minions.
You saw the original Minions movie. It took
Is that
place
the one
in
where
Europe.
the guy is up?
It took place in.
What
They
was
took
the one
over.
with the guy that looked like a chicken. Like
The chicken guy?
like a Latin American villain.
There were three. You always get the last one and the second one confused. The second
Gotcha.
one is the guy with the taco hat.
Yeah. Okay.
And Margot has a crush on the guy. And the third
what's the one
one
with
is
Gru's
the
brother?
guy. What?
Didn't Gru have a brother in one of them?
No. There's another.
does.
There's one where Gru's a good guy and he's working for the ATL. And,
Oh, yeah, I'm
and no, the
lost. It doesn't
AVL,
matter.
Anti-Villain League. The AVL is in this movie.
Okay, that's fine.
Anti-Villain League's in this. Anyways. And then they're like, continue doing good, son. And he's like,
How many Minions would you give that movie?
4
Oh,
out of 5.
I would probably give the Thor movie 3.5 Mjolnirs. You do get Marcy. You do get Dr. Selvig.
Okay, good.
You know, they do show up, not for a very long time, but they're both in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they were in WandaVision and then they haven't been in anything since.
Yeah.
Well, Darcy was in WandaVision and I really liked her in that. I wish that she was in more stuff.
Yeah, maybe she will. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know. I just, man,
We're
I
being
just
hard
have
on the
such
movies,
high.
aren't we?
I have such high expectations for Marvel films.
I know. Maybe that's it.
And
We're starting
I
to be
just-
like Star Wars fans that
Are we?
hate on the
Ooh,
Star Wars.
Are we like that?
I remember what that was called now. They call them the fandom menace.
Is that us?
I don't know. It's not going to be because here's the deal. I am
Gross.
still so glad that I get an opportunity to go see these things because I didn't get any of this growing up.
Yeah.
The closest thing I got was Flash Gordon.
Which
By the way, I enjoyed.
bops?
Yeah, it is what it is. Don't go in expecting to see it as, oh, this is Oscar worthy.
He sticks his hand in the thing,
Yes.
and it's like the scorpion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Pierce Bronson, but he was a James Bond. Oh well, don't matter. He was in it. Doesn't matter.
Pierce
Doesn't
Bronson?
matter. Nope, it wasn't Pierce Bronson. It was Roger Daltrey. No, Roger Daltrey is a singer for the Who. I can't get it out. Anyway, yeah.
We are doing a really good job today, Dad.
Let's do pull list. Explain to everybody what that is.
Yeah, so Dad is going to share with us his pull list now. What a pull list is for those of you who don't collect comic books, or maybe even don't even know what a comic book really is all about. What a pull list is, it's a list of the comics that he is currently collecting / is interested in, that he talks to the proprietor of his local comic book shop about, and the proprietor of the local comic book shop pulls those comics from their inventory before placing the inventory on the shelves for general consumer. That way, Dad has a stack of comics waiting for him.
Some of my books in my pull list, some of my books in my pull list aren't even on the shelf. They just order them special for me. They don't order
Specifically
them
for you,
anyone.
yeah. So, man, having a good rapport, a good relationship with the proprietor of your local comic book shop is a wise thing to cultivate. So what Dad's going to do for us, I'm sorry, you tell him,
no,
Dad.
You explain, you go.
What Dad's going to do for us is he is going to tell us a comic from the big two, one from Marvel, one from DC. He's going to tell us a comic from an independent. It could be something like Dark Horse or Aftershock, Boom Studios, IDW, Image.
Listen to you just learning all those names.
Do I know stuff? I do.
Yeah.
I know things. And he's also going to share with us a new #1, meaning that, hey, if you are interested in picking up a comic book, don't really know where to start, he shares with us a comic book that's a first issue that you could go out and buy if it's something you might be interested in, as well as his book of the week, which is the most fun one that he's read this week.
Yeah, or newsworthy.
Okay, right on. Right on.
So my first book is I'll just go with The Independent. And this is from Image. This is, I don't think I might have mentioned this. This is called Twig. This is issue 3.
I think you might have mentioned this before, Dad.
Like of the first issue. Twig is written by a guy named Scotty Young, who is a great writer. He has written quite a few cool things. He just finished up a run on Strange Academy. It just finished for right now. They're going to restart it later.
Yes.
But Twig is like a fantasy type character. It's really drawn. This is a family friendly book. It does say T for teen, but I think you can read this with children. The art is beautiful.
Is Twig? Is he he's a
little blue
creature?
hairy creature. He's a little blue hairy creature, and he has this creature called Splat. It's like a little
Splat.
almost like a stretchy lizard, but he's not like a lizard. So, and his job is he has to save this world by fixing this device, and he has to go. It's like an adventure type. And like he goes into this giant mountain that talks and has teeth and everything. I just love this book. I wish I could tell everyone to pick it up every time because it is beautiful.
Look at him. Look at
Art
him.
is gorgeous. And I might want to do a Twig mosaic.
I mean, you're going to have blue left over after you finish Usagi.
I know. I didn't even use that one blue. I used a different one.
You could make Twig.
Twig is fun.
You know what I want? And I want a stuffy of him.
Wouldn't that? Yes.
I want to squeeze him.
It is so good. And he's so the issue with Twig is that he really doesn't want to do what he's doing. He took over his dad's work after his dad passed. He really wants to be a chef.
I hope he gets to be a chef at the end.
I do too. Or that this desire to be a chef, or the skills that you have being a chef come into play. With, So yeah,
like
so
kind
Twig. Everyone should be collecting Twig, and you should be reading it with your children.
Aww.
Okay.
That's really
now
sweet,
it's got some
Dad.
spooky stuff in there, but it is a good comic. All right.
Twig.
So my first DC book, or my only DC, well, my DC book is Dark Crisis issue 2.
You've mentioned this before too.
Yeah, Dark Crisis. DC always does a big, huge event.
I'm like, isn't it Dark Crisis on Infinite Earth?
No, Crisis on Infinite Earth was the first crisis that they did. This is called Dark Crisis.
Why? Must we always be in a crisis, ladies and gentlemen?
It's because it sells comics. This is actually pretty good because all of the OG characters are supposedly dead. We know that's baloney. But like Wonder Woman dead, Superman dead.
Yes,
Batman
you
dead.
shared. Yes. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. So now the young people, or the legacy characters is what they're called, have to step up and take charge. Oh, wait a minute. One of the only characters that wasn't killed was Black Adam. Gee, how strategic
I wonder
is that?
why.
Yeah,
I wonder
why
if
Black
there's like a
Adam?
potential reason as to why that character was
And they're throwing Black Adam comics left and right, like a new Black Adam comic almost every month. But anyway.
silly.
This is really good because Deathstroke, one of the main villains of Batman and the Teen Titans, basically is there to kill Nightwing. And I guess whoever is in charge of the darkness makes him stop.
Because it's Dark Crisis.
Dark Crisis. So
Okay, right on.
Anyway, yeah. Superman, the son of Superman, shows up. Tries to save the day, but then Cyborg Superman. It's a really good book. I usually don't like these crises books, but I'm enjoying this.
What's
this
different
well written,
about this one?
It's the last one that we did. It seemed like it was so disconnected, like I couldn't follow it.
Okay, so this one, the arc is more cohesive.
So far, there is a real story going on.
Okay,
and I'm interested in how they're going to pull it together.
Right on.
So, yeah. So there you go. So my Marvel book is Avengers Forever, issue 7.
Dad,
So what?
come closer to the mic.
Avengers Forever, issue 7. This comic book we're bringing together the multiversal Avengers to fight the multiversal masters of evil led by Doom Prime. We've talked about Doom.
Doom Prime. Y'all, I would not want to fight Doom Prime.
So the last couple of these Avenger Forever issues have been very, like, you could just pick it up and read it because it doesn't impact a story at all. So what we're doing is we're getting vignettes about the individual characters that are making up the Avengers / the Masters of Evil. This book is all about Steve Rogers. There are 5 Steve Rogers being held captive in this place. One you never see. He just talks and is disgruntled and won't do anything. There's one that's like a I'll just say this because it's like a redneck. I don't trust any of the government. I'm going to, you can't stop me. And he just goes out to fight. There's one
good old boy.
Yeah, he's a good old boy. There's one Steve Rogers who's thin but very intelligent. And there's one Steve Rogers who is like, he's a heavier guy who doubts himself all the time. Aww. And one Steve Rogers that's a dog. So these are Steve Rogers from different universes, different multiverses. And then there's one that's a curmudgeon that never says anything and only see him in the shadows. So what happens is the one Steve Rogers, he tries to escape every day. He like busts through and escapes and then they throw him back. He comes back.
So he's learning which way to go.
Every time.
He's getting further. Oh, and they ain't with it.
And then eventually the real smart one goes with him. And then they come back and then they do it again. And then then the dog goes. And then they talk the one guy in.
The curmudgeon?
No, the other guy who has
the good old boy.
Issue.
Oh no.
But it's interesting because each one of these characters is Steve Rogers to the core. Deep down, they are Captain America. It is so good. And like this is like the
seems like you're really into good writing right now.
This is the 30th attempt. And they fail. And what happens is at that point, the curmudgeon comes out and he's like, we're going to go, all of us, because he had done it before, apparently, and gave up. But now they're all going, and he goes, you'll follow my lead. And he's like Captain America Wolverine. Yes, old man. There, Old Man Logan. Did you watch the movie Logan?
Yeah.
He's old man
Steve.
Rogers. So that's what he is from that universe. And they all fight together and they defeat and get to the end. And all this entire time, it was a training facility run by the other Captain Americas. And they're all up there. Like one looks like an ape and all these different.
These were the guys these were the Captain Americas that were bad or like lame.
No, you've got to be ready because we've got this battle to fight. And this was like getting them to train. And they had their own shields and everything. So this was great. Loved it. Avengers Forever.
That's cool.
And it's a good standalone. You do not have to be collecting the comic book series to appreciate it.
Okay, so, love that. Love that knowledge.
So my new issue 1 is from Aftershock. This is written by a guy named Ed Brisson, who is a really good writer. So there you go again. These are
I'm just saying, you're attracted to interesting
Avengers
writing
Forever
this month.
Jason Aaron, and then Josh Williamson. Okay,
so Aftershock. What is this comic called?
There is something wrong with Patrick Todd. I told Trevin to pick that up, actually.
You did. I was going to say, I know. Why do I know about that? Because you told him to.
So there's something wrong with Patrick Todd. This is a very good book, and it's like a 5-issue series. This is about a kid. I would say kid, but he's probably like 20. I
was a kid when I was 20.
He is getting people. He has the ability to control people's minds or to make them do things and then make them forget. He's having people rob banks, give him the money, and then he tells them to forget who he was. So you're like, why is he picking on me? He is not picking on innocent people.
They're bad people.
They're like, he went into a chat room where predators prey. And he gets a guy to make him think that he's this young whatever. He shows up and he makes him go rob the bank and then tell them that you robbed the bank and then forget you ever saw me. And so they're like, this guy goes, there's like 5 people and they're like, I didn't do this. And they're like, but what do you guys all have in common? So the police are going to find out. So that's one thing. He is getting people that are not
So it's a Robin
good.
Hood.
It is.
And but you get same vibe.
he's using the money to pay for. He has like a mother or a relative in a facility.
So it is
and
Robin Hood.
And his dad is nowhere to be seen.
Catch that kid.
Blah blah blah, type of thing. So, but the law's trying to catch up on him, and there's a villain who's trying to catch him. So this
Is
looks
he
like
Patrick
a very
Todd?
Yes. There's something wrong with Patrick Todd. Yeah, the kid. He's the kid.
Oh.
So yeah, that's
Man,
really good.
that sounds cool though, Dad.
It's a great book. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to start collecting it.
Cool.
I've had
Okay,
a bunch
love
of
that.
mine fall off. So
Well, hey, we love when
fall
new
off,
number
I can
ones
pick up a new one.
become regulars.
this is going to be one. Here's the deal: if I don't think it's worth it, I probably won't talk about it. So I've gotten some number ones and went, not going to do that. I did have a new one to come out called Starhinge that by Image that was really, really good.
Until it wasn't.
No, it's okay. I mean, it does deal with some mysticism and stuff like that. It's not my cup, tarot type stuff.
Not your
Wiccan
favorite.
stuff. It's not my cup of tea. But the art is gorgeous, and it's a very like Arthurian like knights spread over like 3 different time periods.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, my book of the week.
Book of the week.
It's my book of the week. This is Batman. Issue
Batman.
125.
LOL.
We have a new creative team for Batman.
Okay.
The writer is Chip Zdarsky, who
You like him.
I do like Chip Zdarsky, and Phil Jimenez, which is art is gorgeous.
What does Chip do?
Daredevil.
Right on. Oh, sick.
And
Okay.
Newburn.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I know that
yeah.
name.
Newburn is the Image. He's the detective for the mob.
Yeah.
He's the fixer for the mob.
I was going to say, I thought he was an independent.
Well, no, he just does some stuff on his own.
Okay.
So yeah, he also did the Justice League: The Last Ride, which was a mini series that I loved. That was the Justice League.
Okay,
set
so
in
all over the
future,
place.
and which I loved. And I thought, why don't they give this guy the Justice League? Because it's amazing. But so some people
Alas.
didn't like this. Some people did. I loved it. It is a slow burn for some people, but we get the Penguin in this. We get Clayface. You get Bruce talking to Selena Kyle because he just needs some clarity. Robin is off doing his own thing, so we get Tim Drake as Robin in this.
Okay.
Which is really good because Tim Drake's my favorite Robin.
I'm vibing with you.
The interesting thing is, so there's somebody out there killing rich people. And
Okay.
the Penguin is dying, and he frames Batman to make it look like Batman kills the Penguin in his hospital bed.
Okay.
So this happens at the end. But we've mentioned this before, how Batman lost all of his money.
Yes.
Sorta. So he doesn't have Wayne Manor. So apparently Batman had put into place something in case he died. And it shows like at the very end in the Batcave, it had been so many days and so many hours that this character, like a computer program, comes online.
Like Alfred?
It's called Failsafe. This is the name. This is what this is being called. So it's like Failsafe online. So it's going to be interesting to see what this is going to be. So, yeah. I really
Interesting.
enjoyed it.
Okay.
I did, and
That's cool, Dad.
I have to admit I did not read the backup.
Like
But-
the thing in the back of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You either love or hate those. There's
Well,
very
I think
limited
I would
in
like it, but I just didn't have time. So those are my
There's
comments.
very limited in between in that for you.
I know it.
That's funny.
So that was what I think. So that's what I think
Hey.
everybody should be reading.
Thanks for sharing that with us, Dad. I got it
You're
written
welcome.
down. I'll include it in the blurb.
All right. Well, listen, before we go, Hannah and I want to talk about the movie and spoiler that we watched called
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I can never get it right. This is on, no, it was out in the theater. I purchased it because it was cheaper to purchase. And
It was in the theaters for a long time.
I think it's still in the theater.
It is.
But
and it
instead of
started the theaters like beginning-ish of this year.
Instead of driving to Lexington, we just decided to buy it. So yeah, it was like $20 on
I mean, yeah,
Apple.
if you're getting enough
you
people
watch
to
it
sit
on
and watch
Apple?
it. We watched it in the theaters.
In the theater, yeah.
Because Trevin really, really wanted to watch it, and then we had time to go see it, and it was out of theaters. And then we were talking about if we wanted to go see a movie, because we have Regal Unlimited, and so we go see
Gotcha.
movies in the theater a lot.
This
And,
movie is my favorite movie of the year so far.
It's phenomenal. Okay,
100%.
so we're going to do
Although
spoilers.
I liked Maverick. I don't want anybody to say I didn't like Maverick.
Top two, for sure.
Maverick is pure cinema entertainment. This movie is almost like an art form.
It is art.
It is gorgeous. So the premise of this is, and this is an Asian family that, this is basically a family drama with sci-fi and multiversal flipping back and forth. This has to do with the matriarch of the family,
Evelyn,
who is being audited by the IRS.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Who's Jamie Lee Curtis. Evelyn's daughter is
Joy.
More progressive. She has a girlfriend, and she if I could tell from the very beginning that her mom is really hard on the daughter, like says you're fat or blah blah blah.
Part of that is, from my understanding, part of that is a cultural difference. Not saying it's appropriate to talk to your kids like that.
Right.
Just
right.
part of that
what it
is, yeah.
And Evelyn's husband, played by the same actor who was in The Goonies and Short Round in Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, loves his wife, but you could tell he loves her, but is filing for divorce.
Because
I can't quite why.
Well, he mentioned it later on that he was like, I've talked to my friends about ways to like save our marriage, and this seemed to be like a catalyst to encourage conversation and change.
Right, because he wants to save his marriage.
Because he wants to, he doesn't want
a better life.
He wants
with his wife. He wants something in a different universe. Did you catch all of this? I mean, really,
I need you to know that I just wept.
So
I was just crying in this movie, and it is some of the best action.
The father is you would recognize him, the grandpa or her dad. Is it her dad or his dad?
Her dad.
Her dad was in Big Trouble in Little China. He's been in all kinds of stuff.
He was in Mulan. He was in Turning Red.
Yes.
He's in Balls of Fury.
Yes. So what happens is when they go to be audited, her husband, all of a sudden something happens to him in the elevator.
He's wearing a fanny pack.
He's wearing a fanny pack, but he becomes her husband, but from a different universe.
His name's Waymond.
Yes. And I don't remember what his name is.
No, I have it pulled up. That way you can just say name.
And he tells her that Evelyn is the key to saving the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
From this villain.
From
Jubaku, who just happens to be her daughter.
Her daughter, Joy.
Yes. So the way that the people don't switch from one multiverse to another like you would like in Doctor Strange. But what happens is you can access the abilities of your other self in another universe by doing a certain catalyst, by there being a certain catalyst.
And it's something obscure and strange that you would never do.
Right. So like
eating an entire tube of chapstick.
So there is a group of people on Earth, was it One or Earth Alpha or whatever?
I can't remember.
Whatever.
Alpha,
I think.
Yeah.
Who are trying to download certain characteristics to Evelyn, and they would tell her what to do in order to access the powers from that other universe. Well, eventually,
she can just do it herself.
She just starts doing anything to get, like she snorts a fly up her nose.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden can do, like, I can't remember what, but
Jobu Tupaki.
This was great.
It was Jobu Tupaki. And I'm up in here like, is Jobu Tupaki like,
I don't, does it mean something?
Does it mean something and I've missed it?
Yeah.
Or is it just a funny name?
The movie starts out, the very opening scene is a mirror, and it has the husband and the wife and the daughter, and they're laughing and hugging and like doing all this stuff in this mirror. And then all of a sudden it just changes violently and it's nothing in the mirror, and you pan back and she's working on this stuff. And I was like, that is the whole, I didn't catch that.
Well, the whole movie truly is a story about being thankful for and loving the people in front of you. Absolutely. And sitting with them no matter what is going on. Mm-hmm. Man, the where they, so the thing that, okay. Sorry, I have so many thoughts about this movie all at the same time. This movie is
so action-packed.
And they're like fighting. This is
some of the martial arts fighting.
It's some of the best action.
In a Jackie Chan movie.
It's phenomenal.
Yes.
But the drama in it is so good. And
there's some naughty stuff. This is definitely not a kid's movie. I mean,
I was watching it.
When they showed the IRS awards, I was like, oh no.
I was like, oh no.
I said that exactly. And I was like, I don't think some of the people watching with me got it.
I looked at it and I was like, oh no.
I was like, where are these going? Anyway, we know where they went.
I'm with you. I was sitting there and I was like,
I don't want to explain it because this is a kid-friendly show.
It's a kid-friendly show, but
this is definitely a show you shouldn't watch with your kids.
Don't watch it. It's rated.
Yeah, I know. It is rated R.
No.
But anyway, go ahead, Hannah. You said you had.
But the thing that I thought was like, I thought the costume design was phenomenal.
Yes.
The costume design was so freaking good. The multiverse where they all have hot dogs for fingers.
That was hilarious.
Hysterical. And she's just like dancing and she's got noodle hands.
Yes, but we learned how to do things with our feet.
With our feet. That was hysterical. The costume
which was
design.
Interesting too, because at one point, Evelyn says you have to tell her you love her and mean it. You know, to access.
Yeah, because in the other one with the feet.
They're like a couple.
Yeah, they love each other.
Yeah.
I loved
Jamie Lee Curtis was awesome.
Jamie Lee Curtis was so funny in this, y'all. She was so freaking funny. I put everything on a bagel.
Yes.
Hysterical.
Yeah. There is an everything bagel. That is where like the main
it's turned into
the villain. Yeah, the
Jobu Tabaki.
The villain feels like no one
understands and loves her.
If everything is possible and everything is attainable, then nothing matters.
Yeah. And if I can be anything or do anything, then the universe is useless. Like, what's the point?
It's meaningless. And she's hoping that her mom, because she doesn't have anybody that understands her, basically.
And her mom is the person of Alpha Evelyn is the person who turned her into that.
Yes. Yeah. So she's trying to kill every Evelyn. Mm-hmm. And, but really what she's trying to do is get the main Evelyn to understand her. Honestly, that's all she's trying to get is her mom to understand what she feels.
Yeah.
Which is basically what is happening in the original world.
Yeah. In the world that the world that you begin watching things in.
So she put everything that she was feeling into a bagel. It was the everything bagel. That was hilarious.
And it turns into a black hole.
Do you know what I had for breakfast the next day?
Did you have an everything bagel? Because you wanted one?
Bagel.
That's hysterical.
No, they were laid out.
That's funny. With cream cheese?
Of course. I don't eat a bagel without cream cheese.
I was going to say, Dad loves some cream cheese.
Always. So, yeah, the whole bagel thing was funny.
I love the whole thing where she learned that the way to move forward is through love. She's like, Evelyn. I'm going to be like you, Wayman. I'm going to just love people.
Yes. He was so good.
It was so good. And she put the thing on her forehead, the googly eye.
The googly eye.
It's so cute.
Yes. That was towards the end where she has to save her.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Where she's,
and then like her dad with like the transformer wheelchair.
Hysterical. With the coffee pot.
Yes.
Did you notice the coffee pot in the back of it?
No, I didn't.
There was a coffee pot on the back of it.
I'm rewatching it right now because it was so good. There's so much happens in it.
I loved like the whole thing was, hey, to be truly accepting of my daughter and to love her as she truly is, I have to let her go.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she says, I don't agree with you all the time. I'm not going to. but I love you.
I think you need to do things differently sometimes too. But I'm your mom, and I want to be with you because
And
I love you
for who you are. Exactly. And I'm like, wouldn't the world be greater if everybody actually just did that? Just be honest, but be kind and be empathetic.
I just
and
wept.
love everyone and accept people who, you know, yeah. Anyway, I thought I really did. I was like, this is such a great movie.
I hope it wins so many Oscars.
You think it will?
I hope so.
I mean,
I hope so.
It's sad that it doesn't get as much. I don't know who it was telling me that they thought it didn't get as much because it's a pretty much an all Asian cast.
Well, we were watching it and I was like, I don't understand any of the words that they're saying. And I'm like, it's because it's not English. I need to sit up straighter in my chair. Because I was sitting in the very back and it had subtitles. And I was like, okay, I need to pay attention. I thought that was really cool.
I do too, but it is fast.
I don't know how true this is. I read this somewhere and I don't know how true it is. That the husband, that he loved acting, but stopped acting, where it, okay, he stopped
Short
acting.
Round?
What? Yeah,
Short Round.
He stopped acting because there were no serious roles for him as an Asian man in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And so he stopped acting. And the female actress who's in charge of it was, like the female actress, Evelyn. She, when Crazy Rich Asians was released, he was like, okay, so there's a market for this again. And so he started acting again and got cast into this role.
Yeah. Many people will notice the Evelyn character. She was in Shang-Chi. And
she was crazy. She was in Crazy Rich Asians. She was the mom in Crazy Rich Asians. She saw her in the movie.
Right. That was crazy. They used Crazy Rich Asians in
like actual video from her at actual premieres.
And you know what I really enjoyed? The part where she was in the other universe where she was famous and she
having that conversation
with her husband, who wasn't her husband.
Yeah.
But it was like, yeah, this is a movie if you think, oh, this multiverse stuff is awesome, or this, because Marvel does the multiverse and DC does the, I don't know what they call it, the omniverse or the whatever. Anyway, you got Earth.
It was a multiverse movie that had had rules and it didn't stray from the rules.
No, it's the best.
It's like, if you have to do this, then this is what you had to do. Yeah.
I loved it. And I think anybody who, it's the best comic book movie out that's not a comic book movie.
It was,
Just like Station 11 is the best comic book TV show out that's not a comic book TV show.
I don't know. I liked that to me, it had sincerity. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
And maybe part of it is because I'm a therapist. And so I was watching it and was like, his mom is just learning about herself. She just wants to love her daughter.
Who was it telling me that the guys who directed this, they did that turn up for what video. They directed some other stuff, but that they really believe in nihilism, that nothing matters.
Really? That's not what I gathered from the end of it.
That's not what I got from this
From the end of the movie, I was like,
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that I was told wrong, but I got from this that, it does matter.
Yeah.
And especially it has a great ending, has a good ending. And Jamie Lee Curtis, I can't talk better about.
She just was so good in this movie.
Yes. I don't want to take away from the Asian actors that are in it because they were really good.
Well, everybody in the movie was excellent. I don't think Jenny Slate was hysterical. I was like, why is she in this? Evelyn kept on her nose.
Huh? Yes.
She kept calling her nose. And I was like, that's not nice. But it was funny.
But it's funny. Hilarious.
Yeah,
yes.
Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate is in Parks and Recreation. She's a daughter and she just goes, money, please, and asks her dad for money. And she walked on the screen and Trevin leaned over and was like, money, please.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Stop it.
So anyway, as far as IRS awards, I give this 5
Dad,
IRS awards.
I hate that that's what you picked for this. I'm refusing
let's not do that.
to give it any numbers.
rocks with googly eyes on them.
Okay, yes. 5.
5 rocks with googly eyes.
5 rocks with googly eyes.
And if you watch the movie, you'll get that. I love that part where they're rocks and she keeps trying to get closer to her daughter.
And her mom's like, she's like, leave me alone.
No, I'm coming for you. I'm going to be with you. I was like, that is so cute.
I was like,
it was just 2 rocks.
I was crying.
I know. It's so good.
And it was completely silent in the theater. And I was like, don't make any sound.
Oh, yeah. And you're like,
I was like weeping. I'm a sentimental person though. This type of stuff gets me. It gets
5 googly eye rocks. 5
it gets
googly
you too,
rocks.
Dad. We're the same in that way.
Yeah. This will be one I watch over and over and over again.
Luke says that's the best part. Just be a rock.
Yes, it is.
It's funny.
So good. So, Hannah, you give it 5 googly eye rocks?
5 pet rocks.
With googly eyes.
Yes.
All right. Well,
that
folks,
would make sense if you also had watched Minions 2.
Oh, I haven't. They have pet rocks in there too? Oh, man.
Dad, it took place in the 70s.
Pet rocks, yo. Yep. It reminds me of that lady who's sold moose turds. Do you remember seeing that? Yeah. She made a clock out of it.
Gross.
With moose turds on it. That's 1 turdy, 2 turdy,
Daddy.
3 turdy. Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm going to do the end roll now.
All right, do end roll. Do it. Oh, and don't mention the daggone YouTube, because I haven't put YouTube up in forever. I need to do it.
Daddy.
I'm going to do it. We're so crazy busy. Do it. End roll.
Okay, friends, thanks for hanging out with us for the past hour or so. We're glad that you chose to spend your time with us. We're thankful for you. Our intro music is created, composed, and performed by Brockwell Nason. You can check him out online anywhere that you listen to your music. Our art was created in Microsoft Paint by my dear brother, Nate Turner. Thanks for doing that for us.
And if you share our podcast and let me know, DM or whatever, I'll give you a pen of that logo. Faux free, yo. Whatever.
Pin.
I'm a hillbilly. Keep going.
Boop, 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 boop. Look at how cute it is. Nate did that.
I can't charge people for them, or then I'd have to give Nathan money. You going to make money off of that? No. Turd. Anyway.
I edit and upload our podcast, and Dad is just superb at all things that he does.
And I'm going to try to get it up on the tube.
It's fine. I didn't even mention it.
It will.
I mentioned nothing about it at all.
Thank you guys so much for playing around. We really enjoy you all. Hannah and I, we don't do it for you, honestly. Sorry. We do it for each other. I love you, Hannah.
I love you too, Dad. It's fun to talk with you.
All right. So until next time, we will
catch you on the flippity
flop.
We were off, but it's fine.
Well, always off. We never get that right.
Bye, friends.
Bye-bye.